I want to talk about something that every one of us has faced: disrespect. Whether it's a harsh word, a dismissive tone, or an outright insult, disrespect can sting. It can ignite anger, frustration, or even a desire for revenge. But today, I want to present a different approach: staying quiet after disrespect. At first glance, this might sound weak. Society often teaches us to fight back, to stand up for ourselves, but staying quiet is not about weakness, it's about wisdom. It's about choosing your peace over pointless battles. Let me explain why not staying quiet after disrespect is one of the strongest demonstrations of self-control and emotional strength. It's easy to react impulsively when someone disrespects us. Anger flares, words come out in retaliation, and the situation can quickly escalate into a conflict that benefits no one. But choosing to remain silent in such moments is not about letting the other person win or showing weakness. It's about showing mastery over oneself. It reflects the ability to rise above the immediate emotional response and operate from a place of wisdom and restraint. When someone disrespects you, their goal is often to provoke you, to pull you into their negativity. They may be acting out of their own frustrations, insecurities, or anger, using disrespect as a way to transfer those feelings onto you. By staying quiet, you deny them that satisfaction. You refuse to let their negativity dictate your reaction or mood. This act of non-reaction is a profound display of strength. It sends a message that you are in control of yourself, no matter what external force is trying to destabilize you. Responding to disrespect might feel satisfying in the moment, but it often has lasting consequences. Words said in anger or frustration can cause damage that's hard to repair. Relationships can be strained, reputations can be tarnished, and regrets can linger. When you choose silence, you protect yourself from these outcomes. You allow time and space to assess the situation more clearly. In many cases, disrespect is best met with dignity, and nothing conveys dignity better than the quiet confidence to walk away from unnecessary conflict. Silence also gives you the chance to reflect. In the heat of the moment, emotions can cloud judgment. When you stay quiet, you create space to process your feelings and think critically about the situation. Was the disrespect intentional or accidental? Is the person's behavior a reflection of their character or a response to something external? By not reacting immediately, you give yourself the opportunity to gain a deeper understanding of the circumstances. This reflection can guide you in deciding if and how to address the issue later, ensuring that any response is measured and thoughtful rather than impulsive. Another important aspect of staying quiet is the message it sends. Silence speaks volumes, often louder than words. It says, "I value my peace and integrity more than engaging in pointless arguments." It communicates that you are secure in yourself, that your self-worth does not depend on the opinions or actions of others. This kind of quiet confidence can be deeply unsettling to someone who disrespects you, as they may be expecting a defensive or emotional reaction. Instead, your composure shows them that their words or actions hold no power over you. Staying quiet after disrespect also protects your emotional and mental energy. Disrespect can be draining, especially if you allow yourself to be drawn into a cycle of arguing or retaliation. Engaging with negativity often leaves you feeling worse, even if you feel justified in your response. Silence, on the other hand, is a way of safeguarding your well-being. It's a reminder that not every battle is worth fighting, and that some things are better left unaddressed, not because they don't matter, but because they don't deserve your attention. There's also a deeper psychological element to staying quiet. People who disrespect others often do so from a place of insecurity or hurt. By not reacting, you prevent yourself from being pulled into their struggles. You remain grounded in your own reality, refusing to let their issues become your burden. This ability to stay centered is a powerful act of self-preservation, one that ensures you don't lose yourself in someone else's negativity. Choosing silence over reaction sets an example for others. In a world where conflict and retaliation are often glorified, showing restraint can be a refreshing contrast. It demonstrates that strength isn't about overpowering someone else with words or actions, it's about maintaining control over yourself. This kind of behavior can inspire those around you to handle their own challenges with more grace and composure. It shifts the focus from proving a point to preserving one's dignity and peace. None of this is to say that staying quiet means tolerating disrespect or never addressing it. There are situations where setting boundaries or standing up for yourself is necessary and appropriate. But even in those cases, responding from a place of calm and thoughtfulness is far more effective than reacting out of anger or frustration. Silence, in the initial moments of disrespect, gives you the clarity to decide the best course of action, ensuring that any response you give is intentional and impactful. Staying quiet after disrespect is an act of empowerment. It's a way of taking control of your narrative, refusing to let someone else's behavior define your reaction or disrupt your peace. It's a reminder that true strength lies not in how loudly you respond, but in how steadfastly you maintain your inner calm. In the face of disrespect, silence is not just a response, it's a statement of self-respect, resilience, and strength. Staying quiet after disrespect is one of the most effective ways to protect your peace. Peace is a state of mind that allows you to remain calm, composed, and focused despite the challenges life throws your way. It's a vital part of mental and emotional well-being, yet it's constantly threatened by external factors, including disrespect. When someone disrespects you, it can feel like an assault on your dignity, an invitation to defend yourself, or even a demand for retaliation. However, choosing silence in such moments isn't about surrendering, it's about safeguarding your inner tranquility and refusing to let negativity disrupt your equilibrium. Disrespect often carries an emotional charge. When someone speaks harshly, dismisses you, or acts condescendingly, it's natural to feel anger, frustration, or hurt. These emotions can be overwhelming, and if not managed, they can lead to reactive behaviors that you might later regret. By staying silent, you give yourself the space to process those emotions without letting them control you. Silence acts as a buffer, a protective layer that keeps you from immediately absorbing and responding to the negativity directed at you. Instead of reacting impulsively, you maintain your composure, preserving your mental clarity and emotional stability. It's important to understand that reacting to disrespect often gives it more power than it deserves. When you engage with someone who disrespects you, you're essentially validating their actions by acknowledging them. Even if your reaction is to defend yourself or retaliate, it draws you into their negative energy. It gives them control over your emotions. Staying quiet, on the other hand, denies them that control. It sends a clear message: you may try to disrupt my peace, but I will not let you succeed. This refusal to engage not only protects your peace, but also reinforces your sense of self-worth. Protecting your peace is not just about avoiding conflict, it's about choosing where to invest your energy. Life is full of challenges, and your energy is a finite resource. If you spend it reacting to every instance of disrespect, you'll have little left for the things that truly matter: your goals, your relationships, your personal growth. Silence allows you to conserve your energy for these priorities. It's a way of saying, my peace is too valuable to waste on things that don't align with my values or contribute to my happiness. Another aspect of protecting your peace through silence is understanding the intent behind disrespect. Often, disrespect says more about the person giving it than the person receiving it. People who act disrespectfully are often dealing with their own insecurities, frustrations, or pain. Their actions are less about you and more about their internal struggles. When you recognize this, it becomes easier to detach from their negativity and not take it personally. Staying quiet in these moments allows you to maintain empathy without compromising your own emotional well-being. It's a way of acknowledging their behavior without letting it affect your peace. Silence can act as a form of emotional armor. It shields you from being drawn into unnecessary drama or conflict, which can be emotionally exhausting and mentally draining. Responding to disrespect often leads to back and forth exchanges that escalate the situation rather than resolve it. By staying quiet, you put an end to the interaction before it can spiral out of control. This doesn't mean you're avoiding the issue. It means you're prioritizing your peace over momentary satisfaction. In many cases, the best way to deal with disrespect is to rise above it, and silence is a powerful way to do so. Staying quiet also gives you the opportunity to reflect on your response. Not every instance of disrespect requires immediate action or confrontation. Some situations are better addressed with a calm, measured response once emotions have settled. Silence provides the space to consider your options, evaluate the situation, and decide the best way to protect your peace without compromising your integrity. It's a proactive approach that puts you in control of the narrative rather than letting the moment dictate your actions. Protecting your peace through silence is not just beneficial for you, it also sets an example for others. When people see you maintaining your composure in the face of disrespect, it demonstrates strength and emotional intelligence. It shows that peace is not about the absence of challenges, but about how you handle them. Your ability to stay calm and centered inspires others to approach their own conflicts with the same level of grace and restraint. In this way, your silence becomes a ripple that encourages positivity and peace in those around you. It's also worth noting that protecting your peace doesn't mean ignoring disrespect altogether. There are times when addressing the issue is necessary, especially if it's part of a pattern or comes from someone you interact with regularly. However, even in these situations, silence can be a starting point. By not reacting immediately, you give yourself the clarity to address the issue thoughtfully and assertively, ensuring that your response aligns with your values and preserves your peace. In conclusion, staying quiet after disrespect is a deliberate choice to protect your peace. It's a way of maintaining control over your emotions, conserving your energy, and prioritizing your well-being. It's a reminder that your peace is yours to safeguard, and no one else has the power to take it away unless you let them. In a world that often glorifies confrontation and conflict, choosing silence is a profound act of self-care and self-respect. It's a testament to your strength, your wisdom, and your unwavering commitment to living a life rooted in peace and purpose. Disrespect often aims to provoke a reaction. It's a calculated attempt to disrupt your sense of calm, to challenge your boundaries, or to feed the insecurities of the person delivering it. By staying quiet, you take away the offender's power to control your emotions and dictate the flow of the interaction. This act of non-engagement is not just an exercise in restraint, it is a strategic decision to prioritize your dignity and peace over the fleeting satisfaction of reacting. When someone disrespects you, they often expect a reaction. They may want you to lash out, defend yourself, or stoop to their level in an emotional outburst. In doing so, they draw you into their negativity and validate their actions. Reacting impulsively to disrespect can unintentionally reinforce the idea that their words or actions hold power over you. But by staying silent, you send a message that their disrespect is irrelevant to your sense of self-worth. Your silence says, I refuse to let your negativity define my behavior or disrupt my state of mind. This choice to remain silent also shifts the dynamic of the situation. Disrespect thrives on engagement and loses its potency when met with indifference. When someone's attempt to provoke you is met with silence, it can leave them disarmed and unsure of how to proceed. They may begin to question the effectiveness of their approach or even reflect on their own behavior. In this way, your silence can serve as a mirror, forcing the other person to confront the pettiness or hostility of their actions without any additional fuel from you. Choosing not to react also reinforces your self-control, a trait that is increasingly rare in a world where quick reactions are often encouraged and celebrated. Self-control is a form of strength that comes from knowing when to engage and when to step back. It's about understanding that not every comment, insult, or slight deserves your attention. By staying silent, you prove to yourself and to others that you are not easily swayed by external negativity. This inner strength not only denies the offender the reaction they're seeking, but also strengthens your own sense of empowerment. It's important to recognize that silence is not about submission. Some might argue that by staying quiet, you're allowing the other person to win or enabling their behavior. But silence is not passive. It is an active decision to protect your energy and maintain your composure. Engaging with disrespect often escalates the situation, leading to arguments that rarely produce meaningful resolution. Silence, on the other hand, diffuses tension and prevents the conflict from spiraling further. It's a way of reclaiming control over the situation by refusing to be dragged into a battle you didn't choose. Another critical aspect of denying power to the offender is the long-term impact of your silence. Disrespect is often momentary, but the consequences of how you respond can linger. If you react emotionally, it might feel gratifying in the short term, but it can lead to regrets, damaged relationships, or unnecessary complications. Silence allows you to break that cycle. It's a choice that prioritizes long-term peace and clarity over short-term validation. By not giving the offender the satisfaction of a reaction, you set the tone for how you expect to be treated moving forward. Silence also allows you to focus on what truly matters. Life is full of distractions, and disrespect is one of the most disruptive among them. It can pull you away from your goals, disturb your mental equilibrium, and drain your emotional energy. But when you refuse to engage, you conserve your resources for the things that are truly important. You show that your time and attention are too valuable to be spent on negativity. In this way, your silence becomes a form of self-respect, a way of affirming that your priorities are not dictated by someone else's bad behavior. Staying silent after disrespect can influence those around you. It demonstrates emotional intelligence, resilience, and the ability to rise above challenges. People notice when you handle difficult situations with grace, and your behavior can inspire them to adopt a similar approach. This ripple effect not only enhances your own sense of control, but also contributes to a more positive and respectful environment in your personal and professional circles. It's worth noting that staying silent doesn't mean ignoring the issue entirely. There may be situations where addressing disrespect is necessary, especially if it becomes a recurring pattern or affects your well-being. However, even in those cases, silence in the initial moment allows you to approach the situation from a place of calm and clarity. It gives you the time to evaluate whether the issue warrants a response, and if so, how to address it in a way that aligns with your values and priorities. In conclusion, staying quiet in the face of disrespect is a powerful way to deny power to the offender. It's an act of emotional strength, a statement of self-respect, and a strategic choice to protect your peace. By refusing to engage, you maintain control over your emotions and the situation, ensuring that your energy is spent on what truly matters. Silence is not a sign of weakness, it's a testament to your inner strength and a reminder that your dignity is not up for debate. When you choose silence, you reclaim your power and rise above the negativity, proving that true strength lies not in how you react, but in how steadfastly you maintain your calm and composure. Silence after disrespect is a powerful shield that protects your emotional and mental energy. Life is full of challenges and external pressures that constantly demand your attention, and disrespect is one of the most emotionally draining experiences you can face. Whether it comes from strangers, colleagues, or even loved ones, disrespect can feel personal, invasive, and exhausting. How you choose to respond determines not only the impact of the moment, but also your ability to move forward without letting negativity weigh you down. By staying silent, you protect yourself from being drawn into unnecessary emotional conflict, safeguarding your energy for things that truly matter. Disrespect often acts as a spark for conflict, designed to provoke or instigate a reaction. Engaging with it can quickly escalate into a back-and-forth exchange that drains your energy. Words spoken in anger can lead to deeper misunderstandings, and emotional retaliation often leaves you feeling worse than when the encounter began. By remaining silent, you sidestep this emotional tug-of-war altogether. Silence is a way of drawing a boundary without the need for verbal confrontation. It's a statement that says, I refuse to let your actions disrupt my inner peace. One of the most important aspects of conserving energy is understanding that not every interaction requires a response. Energy is finite, and every time you engage in unnecessary conflict, you deplete your reserves. Disrespect is one of those moments that tempt you to react, to defend your honor, or stand up for yourself in the heat of the moment. However, when you choose not to engage, you keep that energy within yourself, available for the people and tasks that truly deserve your attention. By staying silent, you make a conscious decision to prioritize your own well-being over a fleeting sense of vindication. It's also worth recognizing that disrespect often reflects more on the person delivering it than on you. Many times, those who disrespect others are dealing with their own frustrations, insecurities, or emotional struggles. They project their internal issues outward, using disrespect as a coping mechanism or an attempt to assert control. If you allow their negativity to pull you into an argument or emotional reaction, you inadvertently make their problem your own. Silence, however, creates a barrier between their struggles and your peace. It allows you to acknowledge that their actions are not about you, even if they are directed at you. This doesn't mean ignoring the hurt or frustration that comes with being disrespected. Silence is not about suppression or denial of your feelings. It's about channeling them in a way that doesn't drain you unnecessarily. Instead of reacting in the moment, staying quiet gives you the space to process your emotions privately. It allows you to reflect on what happened, assess its significance, and determine if and how it needs to be addressed. This approach preserves your energy and ensures that if you choose to respond later, your actions are deliberate and constructive rather than impulsive and reactive. Protecting your energy through silence is especially important in today's fast-paced world, where distractions and stressors are abundant. Between personal obligations, professional responsibilities, and social expectations, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. Adding unnecessary conflict to the mix only compounds this stress. Silence acts as a filter, helping you separate what truly deserves your energy from what doesn't. It reminds you that not every battle is worth fighting, and that some situations are best left to resolve themselves or fade away entirely. Silence helps you maintain focus on your larger goals and priorities. When you engage with disrespect, you risk being derailed from the things that matter most to you. The time and energy spent arguing or ruminating over someone else's negativity could be better invested in personal growth, meaningful relationships, or productive endeavors. Silence allows you to stay grounded, keeping your attention where it belongs rather than scattering it across conflicts that add no value to your life. Protecting your energy through silence also has a ripple effect. When you refuse to engage with disrespect, you set an example for others. Those around you, whether they're bystanders or people who respect you, see your restraint as a sign of strength and wisdom. You show them that emotional reactions aren't the only way to handle disrespect, and that maintaining one's peace is a choice rooted in confidence and self-respect. This can inspire others to adopt a similar approach, creating a more positive environment where emotional intelligence is valued. It's important to note that silence doesn't mean passivity. There are situations where addressing disrespect is necessary, especially when it becomes a recurring issue or when boundaries need to be enforced. However, even in those cases, silence in the initial moment allows you to gather your thoughts and approach the situation with clarity and purpose. Instead of reacting out of anger or hurt, you can address the issue calmly and assertively, ensuring that your response aligns with your values and protects your energy in the long run. Staying quiet after disrespect is a powerful way to protect your energy. It shields you from the emotional drain of unnecessary conflict, helps you maintain focus on your priorities, and allows you to process your emotions constructively. Silence is not a sign of weakness, it's a deliberate choice to preserve your peace and well-being. By refusing to engage with negativity, you reclaim control over your emotions and energy, ensuring that they are reserved for the people and pursuits that truly matter. In a world that often demands immediate reactions, choosing silence is a profound act of self-care and self-respect. Staying quiet in the face of disrespect is one of the most profound ways to showcase confidence. In a world that often equates loud reactions with strength, the ability to remain composed and silent when provoked speaks volumes about your self-assurance and emotional maturity. Confidence is not about proving your worth to others or reacting to every slight. It's about knowing your value so deeply that you feel no need to engage with negativity. When you stay quiet after being disrespected, you assert your confidence in a subtle yet powerful way. Disrespect often carries an underlying challenge, an attempt to undermine your self-esteem or provoke you into defending yourself. For many, the instinctive reaction is to respond, argue, or retaliate in an effort to reassert their worth. However, true confidence doesn't require validation from external sources. When you remain silent, you demonstrate that your sense of self is not contingent on how others treat you. You show that you are unshaken by their behavior because your worth is firmly rooted in who you are, not in their perception of you. Silence, in this context, is not passive, it is active and deliberate. It communicates that you are in control of your emotions and actions. People who lack confidence often feel compelled to react immediately, driven by the fear that silence might be misconstrued as weakness or submission. But confident individuals understand that silence can be one of the most powerful responses. By choosing not to engage, you show that you have nothing to prove. Your quiet composure conveys strength and poise, making it clear that disrespect does not diminish you in any way. Furthermore, staying quiet denies the person disrespecting you the satisfaction of a reaction. Disrespect often seeks to provoke an emotional response, to draw you into conflict or make you feel unsettled. When you remain calm and silent, you rob them of the power they were hoping to exert over you. This act of non-reaction is a profound statement of self-assurance. It demonstrates that you are not easily swayed or manipulated by negativity. Your silence becomes a shield, protecting your confidence from being eroded by their words or actions. Silence in the face of disrespect also signals emotional intelligence, a key aspect of confidence. It takes a high level of self-awareness and self-regulation to resist the impulse to react. Confident individuals understand that reacting impulsively often leads to regrets and escalates situations unnecessarily. They value their peace and dignity too much to let disrespect pull them into unnecessary conflict. By staying quiet, you showcase not only your confidence, but also your ability to prioritize long-term harmony over short-term satisfaction. This quiet confidence has a ripple effect on those around you. When others witness your restraint and composure, they often view it as a sign of strength and maturity. Your silence speaks louder than words, showing that you rise above pettiness and refuse to let others dictate your behavior. This can earn you respect, even from those who initially disrespected you. It sets a standard for how you expect to be treated and inspires others to approach conflicts with more grace and thoughtfulness. Another key aspect of confidence is the ability to focus on what truly matters. People who are secure in themselves don't feel the need to respond to every criticism or slight. They understand that their time and energy are valuable and should be reserved for meaningful pursuits. When you stay quiet after disrespect, you demonstrate that you prioritize your own peace and goals over trivial confrontations. This focus is a hallmark of confident individuals. They know that their energy is better spent on growth, relationships, and aspirations rather than on negativity. Silence also reflects a deep sense of self-respect. When you refuse to engage with disrespect, you are affirming that you hold yourself to a higher standard. You acknowledge that your value is not diminished by someone else's words or actions and that engaging with negativity is beneath you. This self-respect is a cornerstone of confidence. It allows you to maintain your dignity in all circumstances, showing that you are secure in your identity regardless of how others behave. It's important to note that silence does not mean avoiding confrontation altogether. Confident individuals know when it's necessary to address disrespect and how to do so constructively. However, the key difference is that their responses are intentional and measured, not reactive or emotional. Staying quiet in the moment provides the clarity needed to assess the situation and decide the best course of action. This thoughtful approach ensures that any response is rooted in confidence and self-control, rather than being driven by anger or hurt. Staying quiet in the face of disrespect allows you to maintain control over your narrative. When you react impulsively, you risk letting the other person dictate the direction of the interaction. But when you remain silent, you retain full control over your emotions in the situation. You choose how and when to respond, if at all, on your own terms. This ability to stay in charge of your reactions is a clear indicator of confidence, as it reflects a strong belief in your capacity to handle challenges with grace and resilience. In conclusion, staying quiet after disrespect is one of the clearest demonstrations of confidence. It shows that you are secure in your self-worth, unshaken by negativity, and in full control of your emotions. By refusing to engage with disrespect, you deny others the power to affect your peace and dignity, reinforcing your strength and self-respect. Silence becomes a tool for maintaining your composure, prioritizing your well-being, and setting an example for others. In a world that often values loudness and confrontation, choosing silence is a profound act of confidence and emotional intelligence. Responding to disrespect with silence often serves as a foundation for emotional growth. Disrespect is a test of character, a moment that challenges your ability to stay composed and rise above negativity. When you choose not to engage, you create space for introspection and self-awareness, both of which are crucial for personal development. Emotional growth is not about avoiding difficult situations, it's about learning how to navigate them in ways that preserve your peace, dignity, and inner strength. Silence allows you to turn moments of disrespect into opportunities for reflection and growth, transforming what could be a source of pain into a tool for self-improvement. Choosing silence doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or pretending that disrespect doesn't affect you. It's natural to feel hurt, anger, or frustration when someone disrespects you. However, emotional growth involves learning how to manage these feelings constructively rather than letting them dictate your reactions. By staying quiet, you give yourself time to process your emotions without being consumed by them. Silence creates a pause between the event and your response, allowing you to reflect on the situation with clarity rather than reacting impulsively. This pause is where emotional growth begins, as it encourages you to evaluate your feelings and responses from a place of self-awareness. One of the ways silence fosters emotional growth is by teaching you to detach from the opinions and actions of others. Disrespect often stems from the other person's insecurities, frustrations, or biases, and has little to do with you. When you take disrespect personally, you allow someone else's negativity to influence your self-worth and emotional state. Silence, however, is an act of detachment. It's a way of acknowledging that you cannot control how others behave, but you can control how you respond. This understanding is a significant step toward emotional maturity, as it helps you separate your identity from the judgments of others. Another key aspect of emotional growth is resilience, the ability to remain steady and composed in the face of challenges. Silence builds resilience by teaching you to endure discomfort without losing control. It's not easy to remain silent when disrespected, especially if the situation feels unjust or deeply personal. However, each time you choose silence, you strengthen your ability to stay calm under pressure. This resilience doesn't just help you in moments of disrespect, it carries over into other areas of your life, enabling you to handle stress, setbacks, and conflicts with greater poise and confidence. Silence also encourages self-reflection, a cornerstone of emotional growth. When you choose not to respond immediately, you create an opportunity to step back and assess the situation objectively. Why did the person behave that way? What can you learn about yourself from your initial reaction? Are there underlying issues that need to be addressed, either within the relationship or within yourself? These questions can lead to valuable insights that help you grow emotionally. By reflecting on the situation rather than reacting to it, you turn the experience into a lesson rather than a source of prolonged conflict or bitterness. Silence helps you cultivate empathy even in the face of disrespect. While it may seem counterintuitive, choosing not to retaliate gives you the emotional distance to consider the other person's perspective. What might they be going through that led them to act this way? Are they projecting their struggles onto you? Empathy doesn't excuse disrespect, but it allows you to respond to it with greater understanding and less emotional charge. This shift in perspective not only helps you grow, but also reinforces your emotional intelligence, an essential aspect of personal development. Another significant way silence promotes emotional growth is by helping you prioritize your well-being. Engaging with disrespect often leads to unnecessary stress, anger, and frustration, all of which take a toll on your emotional health. By staying quiet, you protect yourself from these negative effects. You affirm that your peace is more important than winning an argument or proving a point. This act of self-preservation is a form of emotional growth because it shows that you value yourself enough to walk away from situations that do not serve you. Silence allows you to practice forgiveness, a powerful tool for emotional growth. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning the other person's behavior. It means letting go of the anger and resentment that can weigh you down. When you choose not to react to disrespect, you take the first step toward freeing yourself from its emotional grip. This process of letting go not only lightens your emotional burden, but also strengthens your ability to move forward with an open heart. Forgiveness, fostered through silence, is a gift you give yourself as much as it is a response to others. Silence helps you develop a sense of self-discipline. The ability to stay quiet when provoked requires immense control over your impulses and emotions. It's a practice that strengthens your ability to regulate your behavior in other areas of life as well, from managing stress to making thoughtful decisions. This discipline is a hallmark of emotional growth, as it reflects your commitment to acting in ways that align with your values and long-term goals, rather than succumbing to immediate emotions. In conclusion, staying quiet after disrespect is a transformative choice that fosters emotional growth. It allows you to process your feelings, detach from negativity, and build resilience. Through silence, you gain the opportunity for self-reflection, empathy, and forgiveness, all of which contribute to greater emotional maturity. It's a practice that prioritizes your well-being, strengthens your self-discipline, and turns moments of conflict into opportunities for learning and personal development. Silence, far from being passive, is a powerful act of growth and self-respect that helps you rise above negativity and continue your journey toward becoming your best self.